My channel. I feel so weird and dramatic. I'm just gonna spit it out. I did decide to stop working with my coach. This has nothing to do with her ability to be a coach, and more so everything to do with where I'm at in my life and this just being so necessary for me. Genuinely, I find her to be brilliant and I've learned so much from her in such a short period of time. Honestly, like whenever I go to do a bodybuilding competition, like I'll be rehiring her just because I can't see anyone else doing for me what she did for me in such a short period of time. That being said, if you're new here, I quit my corporate job the end of February. So it's been almost a month of not having any source of income outside of my personal training. My personal training of me being a coach did not pay the amount that I was paying for my coach. I'm working still and I'm not having any income, and that was just really overwhelming to me. So that was the biggest sector of this decision, was the financial placement of this. Honestly, I was like spiraling over this decision, and once I talked to like the closest people to me about this, and I realized that there's a bigger thing going on here. I ended up sitting with it for a really long time and I was just like, what's wrong with me? Why is this like, feels like the end of the world, which feels dramatic at the same time. And I realized that although the first thing was definitely financial, the second thing is that I should have full autonomy over my time, and this should feel like a decision I'm making. And instead, training was starting to feel like I was giving up my ability to make my own priorities. And honestly, that's because I never had the intention to go halfway with training. Like if she said she wanted me to do something, I was gonna do it. Having her track everything I do really helped me want to move more like organically throughout my day. It also completely squashed my excuses for not tracking my food. Like I've been so consistent with that and genuinely like always hit my protein goal, and it's just always front of mind for me. And she really healed something in me around food and just like how she approached it, because I had negative thoughts about food and only applied them to myself and never shared them with someone until someone weekly was asking me, how's your hunger? How's your relationship with food? Like, how are you feeling emotionally? At the beginning, I was with her for almost 7 months. That was so necessary for me. But then towards the end, because I do have more autonomy over my time and I have all these things I want to accomplish, it was taking up a good chunk of my life. And the amount of things that I want to accomplish right now, I can't let everything else fall wayside. That's my biggest thing, is I was like, everything else is falling behind because I am prioritizing this one thing. And this season in my life, I think this comes like 5th. And saying that out loud not only felt like I was a fraud, but it also felt bad because the other things matter to me just as much. And I didn't realize like how misaligned I was with what I was spending all of my time doing. So I just had to be honest with myself about what was going to take priority right now. And honestly, health and wellness has to take a back seat and can't be number one, because I am trying to go for other things. And let's be so real, if I could build what I want to build passively I would have never quit my corporate job. Did not understand that my inability to show up for myself in those ways was because somewhere along the line, I handed all of my decision making over to other people, whether that be my corporate job, the people around me that were important to me, my coaches. Like, I just handed everything over, and then somewhere along the way, like, lost complete ability to trust myself. Which, if you don't know me personally, that is how I function. Like, I have to trust myself. I have to believe in everything. My output is so important. I need to make sure that what I'm doing is something that I can gain confidence in. And I truly, truly, truly believe that if you're not holding yourself accountable and you're not putting yourself in the space to set your guidelines and then say like, oh, I did these things, you're not building the self-confidence there. But I am at the point now where I feel healed enough to be like, I really need to gain my self-confidence back. I need to write a program and know that it's gonna work. And like, I need to show up for myself and like do these things, write my own meal plans. Like, I even adjusted my macros. I've been in a maintenance reverse diet for 7 months now, and I'm gonna go into a mini cut. Another cycle I was getting into is like, if I didn't get perfect marks across the board every single day, I was like watching my day as it continued, being like, oh, I still haven't done this. I didn't do this. Oh, I just did this, but I still haven't done this. So today's a failure. And it was like, I physically could not do enough to mark the day as a good day. So anyway, those are my reasons. That's where I'm at. I am, like I said, going into a cut, so welcome to my full day of eating. And again, like, I don't want this to sound like this was her fault at all. Like, she's a fantastic coach, and I think in any other scenario, if I wasn't trying to like build my dream life and not always prioritize health first, this would have been such a beautiful thing that I honestly don't know if I would have ever fired her. Firing her sounds so weird. I don't know if I ever would have quit. So I have an idea for a coffee. I think I'm gonna try to put my Nespresso pod on top of, it's a capsule, I guess, my Nespresso capsule on top of my chocolate protein shake. And I don't even like mocha coffee, but I think if I do a caramel one, it might be good. Having it in a protein shake, I think would just like give me the illusion that I'm drinking a coffee. I'm gonna go pick up my shoes. Oh, let's make the coffee. Okay. Let's make the coffee. The protein that I'm gonna be having, you know, I wasn't gonna do this one, but I think I am gonna do it now. It's the winter mint, chocolate caramel mint. Okay, we're just gonna do that. I feel like this has the potential to be disgusting. Honestly though, people that make protein coffees and they say they're just so good, I have a hard time believing you. I've never made a protein coffee where I was like, yep, that's it, that's delicious. Honestly, whether I like this or not, I still have to drink it because I already tracked it. And I need the protein that's in here, and I don't want to waste any money ever. That's a perfect fit. No, that's good. No, I really like that actually. Coffee just kind of cuts any sweetness that's there, like too sweet, because the chocolate mint is really good, but Premier Protein just in its nature feels very thick when you drink it, and this makes it feel way more approachable. I might actually have this every day. Okay, I'm gonna go get my shoes. I also have a curtain update that I have to tell you guys about. I did a little like home renovation stuff to just the wall that's right here. You just can't see it. I'll show you once I'm done, but I think it'll bring a lot of life to my apartment, which I have been so desperate for, because you are a reflection of your home. I'm back. 2 seconds for you, hours for me. We got the shoes. Anyway, I got the Metcons. These are Metcon 6s, I believe. I just got them in all white so I could wear them all the time to the gym. I'm planning on them staying this way. I don't plan on wearing them outdoors for fun. Like, this is not my fun shoe. This is my lifting shoe. Yeah, I think they're cute. I do think this part is kind of weird, like the whole dip and like this being high, but I think I'll get over it, and it probably just stays on your shoe, like on your foot easier. They are like more balanced, even though it looks like this comes up to the side. It doesn't. It's flat. We love, yeah, let's meal prep together because I'm starving. I know I explained it before, but I am going into a mini cut. I don't want to say mini, like it's a cut, but I am not going into like this massive deficit. So I'm gonna do this for about 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks. So I am making chicken. No surprise. What I do is I get out this giant bowl, and then as I'm cutting up all the chicken, I'll put it in there, and then I make the easiest spicy chicken ever. And this is probably my go-to cut meal, not because it's chicken and rice, but because it's spicy, so it's very satiating. Chicken, rice, and then I put cayenne, paprika, and chili powder on it. But like, we ran out of this, you know what I mean? Like, that just shows how much I use it. But the goal here is to make it spicy, so super plain and easy. My measurements for this typically are 6-8, and that's in ounces. So I'll do 8 ounces of rice, 6 ounces of chicken. I don't want to just hit my protein. I want to make sure that I'm getting a sufficient amount of carbs in, especially with the amount of time and effort that I'm going to be putting into my weight training. It's silly to me to not eat properly and fuel yourself when you are weight training. It's actually super important to do that. You can get yourself fatigued, risk of injury, poor sleep quality. You can feel bloated if you're not getting enough fiber. The meal plan that I'm on right now has 29 grams of fiber. I'm pretty sure you need 25 minimum. Hey Alexa, how many grams of fiber do women need daily?
Here's something I found on the web. According to sausalito.com, getting enough daily fiber is vital to a woman's health, and most women should be eating about 25 grams per day.
You're supposed to get 25, I'm getting 29, and I'm getting that primarily through my chia seeds and my yogurt and my Olipop. So if you didn't know, Olipop is a great source of fiber. I would say most of my fiber is coming from my Olipop. I notice a big difference when I don't drink it. I know a lot of people say it's like gut health friendly for that reason. I am a big Olipop fan, especially to Poppy, if we're gonna compare the two. I'm not even sure if Poppy has the same level of fiber content as Olipop, but if it does or doesn't even, I'll put it on the screen so you guys can see. Always consider what you're eating, but I would honestly pay more attention to stuff like that, of what you're eating, of what is calorically dense, because there's a lot of foods that honestly will put you in a position to where you're not eating enough bulk, like your mass and the volume of the food that you're eating isn't high enough. Therefore, you may be eating a lot calorically, and you could be really frustrated and have like a bad relationship with food because you're like, I barely eat anything, I'm hungry all the time, but I'm not losing weight, I'm gaining weight. And it's, well, it could be a reflection of the caloric density of the food that you're eating. So you could technically be eating more than what your maintenance is, which is what would cause you to gain weight. It really just comes down to understanding what foods are calorically dense and what foods are not calorically dense. So for example, you could eat potatoes in excess. Like you could forever eat potatoes. For me to hit my carb goal, a lot of times if I'm having potatoes as a carb source for any one of my meals, I will have to eat rice or pasta in order to hit my carb goal, because I will be eating too low calorically. When close to 200 grams of potatoes, which is a lot of potatoes, you're eating a lot of volume, but you're not eating a lot of calorically. So foods like potatoes are a really good option for if you're trying to lose weight. So it's already smelling really spicy, but that is my lunch. I also want to be perfectly clear, I did not like spice when I started eating this. I actually thought Justin was insane the first time he put it in front of me. I went to go eat it and I would drink like a half a gallon of water as I was eating it. I was like, you're insane for this. But it was something where after a while, when you get used to it, it honestly was so satiating and I kind of craved it. And since we were just talking about calorically dense foods, I want to talk about rice and pastas in general. A lot of them have similar caloric density, but some of them definitely don't. So jasmine rice for us is the easiest to go to. It's pretty low calorically for how much you get. That being said, I used to get the prepackaged minute jasmine rice, and this one has more caloric density than if I were to just make it and prep it as a whole. I keep hitting this. So I stopped having this, started prepping it in general, and it just worked out for my macronutrients better. It also has less preservatives in it so that your body just responds well to it. I find that when I'm trying to scapegoat around whether or not I'm being the healthiest, and I'm just trying to look for convenience, that's when my gut health tends to go to crap. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm making healthier decisions. And I'm like, no, you're just making more convenient decisions that have the face of health on them. Like, knowing that there's a healthier option and opting for that is always going to be the thing that helps your body more. Trust me, I used to go like 6 to 9 days without going to the bathroom. if you catch my drift. Like, no one deserves to feel like that. Justin called me the bloat lord. I did want to take a moment to actually talk about why I cut it up like this, because when you're meal prepping or you're trying to eat a deficit, meal timing matters so much and you can feel really hungry really quickly. And I don't know about you unless you're like an anomaly or something, but when I'm hungry and I don't have food readily accessible to me, that's when I trip up and I fall into cravings. Whereas, oh, it's 12 o'clock and I need to eat, that's when I'll eat. Even if I'm not completely starving yet, I like don't wait for my hunger cues to take over me. I control my hunger cues. So that's really important to remember. And again, with like the cut up part, since I didn't finish my sentence, the cut up part, the reason I do that is because like anything to stop making food hard to approach, even just cutting it to be bite-sized, is life-changing. Not having to sit there and cut up my chicken before I eat it is always going to save the day and make this meal and just cutting in general, eating at a deficit, so much more approachable when you don't have to think. Like, the only time you should be thinking about your food is when you're meal prepping, not when you're eating it. We batch make rice. This is our rice cooker. I don't know where they got it. I'm sure it was Amazon because Justin was gifted it from his employer, which is, say it with me, Amazon. And so we make a lot of rice for the week. This will probably last us maybe like 5-6 days. Put this amount of rice I'm having, and my chicken's almost done.
Matchmaker. Give me a call if you want to meet somebody.
So we're back from the movie theater. We saw Death by a Unicorn, and out of 5 stars, I'm gonna give it like a 4.5 out of 5. It was really funny, exactly what it said it was going to be, but just like a silly concept. It was dark comedy fantasy, and that's exactly what it was. I don't know if I'm actually positive I haven't talked about it on my channel yet. I'm trying to see 52 movies this year, and that was number 9. I think I'm like 3 or 4 movies behind. So in the last week, I think I've seen 3 movies, and then I have Snow White scheduled for, God, I hope it's not tomorrow. It might be tomorrow. Either way, I guess that's fine, because I have to go to the store to get more food, because that chicken's only gonna last me maybe like 2 days. So I have to buy some more. But tonight I am making dinner and I'm going to meal prep it. So I'm going to try to at least get 3 dinners out of it. All I'm making is ground beef, red sauce, and this like pasta noodle I don't think I've ever had. Hold on. I think it's called ditalini, because that's Italini, right? I think I'm gonna like the texture. I think it's gonna remind me of like a soup. So that's dinner, and I'll show you when it's done. My last meal of the day is dessert. I don't like to go without something sweet at the end of the day. Otherwise, I find in the morning the cravings go rampant. So this is kind of my go-to for when I am in a deficit, and it is an Olipop and some huge chocolate. I'll show you what it normally looks like because I have 15 grams. So I'll show you how much that is or what that looks like. Oh my gosh, perfect. So 2 squares is 15 grams. And so this is my dessert. But that is my full what I eat in the day. I hope you guys enjoyed the more like nutrition focused side of this what I eat in the day and like conversation, and I hope some of it helped. But thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up because it really supports my channel, and don't forget to subscribe because I post twice a week.